Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run. I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code EASY to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code EASY to borrow up to $10,000. Use code EASY to borrow up to $10,000.
When was the last time you watched your home movie? Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick. And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry. Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos. We work on digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever. It's fast. We always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. Magazine are all talking about Legacy Box. New York Times columnist David Polk says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/keepsake to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/keepsake for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/keepsake.
And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you, along with William Forstchen, and your calls this hour. Bill, how did you get the movie made? Did you pitch it, or did you have an agent do it, or did they just simply come to you?
Stars fell from the heavens and landed on me. It's been circulating for years, going through what they call option hell. We get an option, we get halfway there, and I came very close about 5 years ago, but then the producer of all things, horrible accident, was killed, airplane accident. But finally, Matt Kennedy and Starling Productions picked me up, and it all came together. And much to my surprise and delight, they started filming this summer.
Where will the debut be? In L.A.?
I honestly don't know at this point. That'd be kind of cool if it was.
Well, if it is, you let us know and we'll go with you.
George, definitely, absolutely, yes.
I'd love to walk the red carpet with you, Bill.
The red carpet might be a couple of my students staying there with flashlights, and that's spotlights, but whatever.
Good for you. You've been at this for a long time.
It finally came together, and I thank God for the people that were involved in all of this. Some darn good people that are working on it. Matt Kennedy, my agent, and others. They've done a magnificent job.
And I know you're very thankful to the work of the late Peter Pratt.
I cannot say that enough. Peter's been gone a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Peter was, to me, the godfather of this entire issue of EMP and solar flares. He educated me 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and was very much my mentor. He's really missed.
Well, you put him in touch with us. You're the one that got us interested in him. When you would mention him on the show a lot, I sat down with Tom and Lisa at the time and said, we got to find this Peter Pry guy.
Really? I didn't know. That's right. Yes.
It was a jam.
It was a fortuitous bringing together. The guy had literally worked himself to death to try and push the issue of EMP forward. He was working from the legislative side, got very close a couple of times with major legislation, only to have it fall through. It was very frustrating for him.
If we ever get the grid protected, we can do it in his honor.
I would love to see a statue to this. Literally, a statue someday.
Peter Pry. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Wayne in Tacoma, Washington to get us started. Hey, Wayne, go ahead.
Hi, Wayne.
Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you. We wanted to discuss the nations of Amityville.
Amityville.
The Estonia, Latvia,
Yes,
Lithuania.
yes, it's Amityville. Yes,
Away
yes.
From, the Russian,
It's Amityville, Amityville, Amityville. Yes, it is Amityville.
In reinforcing their grid of security. And they have their military monitoring, of course, all the Baltic states there. And of course, they're right on the border with Ukraine. And but the most country that's got the most.
It's Amityville, Amityville.
They have the most advanced cordless grid in the world, and they can detect any blackouts within a tenth of a second. In their company, so it's amazing. And so all these little nations can do it, and one of the big nations can do it, and even the Netherlands and Norway. Why can't we do it?
Exactly. I'm glad you're on the air because I never really thought about that. Yes, the Baltic states and Poland, they've got to protect themselves. I wasn't aware of the work they're doing. I'm going to have to look this up. It's interesting.
Same with China, Bill. My God.
Well, that's the scary thing, that they feel they can resist an EMP because since the start of the Cold War, it's been quid pro quo, mutual assured destruction. You do me, we do you. But suppose China gets to the point that they feel, hey, we got to protect the grid, we don't have to worry about it. It's troubling.
Well, we'll continue to watch this Iranian situation. Interesting that we didn't just do an EMP to shut them down, huh?
Well, the news I was reading just before we got on the air is talking about major electronic disruptions in the Straits of Hormuz. Ships are being attacked. Are they dealing with an EMP here? I'm not sure. They're talking about GPS disruption. I'm wondering what's going on. That's happening right now as you and I talk. And as soon as we're done with this program, I'm going to be back on the news to check this out.
You scared?
Julie on the
Are
wild
you scared,
card from Florida. Welcome to the program.
Are you scared?
Hi, George. Thank you so much for taking my call. I would like to
It's Halloween every day.
some faith because my daughter, who works in Annapolis, Indiana,
At the after hours, after midnight show.
currently fixing the grade protecting the grid from Ontario, Canada, Louisiana. She's been working with this company for about 10 years. She works from her home doing programming. And here in Ocala, we can see people, we can see the electric workers almost every day putting in new lines and new wiring so that the computers can talk to them and protect us from those incidents.
Yeah, you're a wonderful guest because, I used to think top down, think that in government gets up there, Congress, etc. No, it's from the bottom up. Small communities, regional communities, they're the ones that are reacting to this, and thank God it is happening. I've been working with South Carolina, and I know they're really serious about protecting the grid. So it is happening, and I have heard that, yes, in Midwest Indiana is work there as well. So my compliments to your daughter.
Well, I think her company is MISO. I'm not sure, but I know that she's been working on it, and we are very much aware of the problem. And thank you so much for bringing this up to us.
Thank God for your daughter. Pass my regards, please.
Bill, do you know, are there any aggressive executives with the power companies that are on top of this?
20 years ago, I can remember going down to Raleigh once to testify. I got ripped to shreds. One state representative sneered, we're not going to be allocating millions of dollars on some sci-fi fantasy. Said that to my face. But that's changing. I want to think younger executives are becoming aware of this and are moving aggressively. So I'm hoping there are things behind the scenes that I'm not aware of, and they are happening.
Well, I want you to know that our next caller is blind and he just lost his wife. She just passed away. John in Wisconsin. Hey, John, how you holding out?
Oh, hi, George. Thank you. I was just, hi, William. I was just telling Tommy that if it wasn't for Coast to Coast and my big fat cat, I'd be pretty bummed. So I look forward to Coast every night. I must add that my wife, who died a week ago today, loved listening to me on Coast to Coast, and she loved Tommy and George, Gina and Donna, and all the wonderful guests. But I'll transition to my comment and a question for William. First of all, William, congratulations on the movie. I think that's going to bring us such a better understanding to the people in our country of the seriousness of this issue you've been talking to George about. And that leads to my question, William. We can't predict the future, but are you a little bit nervous about possible government regulations, politics, lack of common sense for business leaders, really slowing down the need we have to solve this problem? And once again, if it wasn't for you and our colleagues, I think we'd be in a lot more difficult situation. So keep up the work that you do, William. We appreciate you. And George, thank you for your kind words and taking my call.
And my prayers are with you, sir. A week ago, my compliments that you were even on the air tonight. I think back to Ronald Reagan's famous statement, the thing he fears the most, I'm from the government, I'm here to help you. If you want to leave anything to get it screwed up, the government can do it, stay. But we have a lot of entrepreneurial thinking that is going on now. The whole AI rush. Well, how do you protect the grid or things like that? I want to believe that in spite of incompetence and malice, the systems will be getting better and are moving forward. We have to improve our grid. And just based on what a caller just closed 5 minutes ago, we have to, because the Chinese are doing it. We darn well better be doing it.
It's truly remarkable. We'll get this done, won't they?
Oh, yeah. This is better than Halloween. It's colder than Halloween also. Oh, yeah.
Man, George. Excellent topic. I love it, Bill, when you come on. It's so important and so crucial and what a priority. We have 700,000 miles of high voltage transmission lines. 250,000 of that is 240 volts. That's pretty hot. Only 2% underground. I personally witnessed the Digital 395 shovel-ready project from President Obama go by my mine site out in the desert where I live. It's converted to a homestead. And we lived there for many years. It went right by my front yard, a giant Caterpillar train, deep-jet bulldozers. They're called cable reel dozers. They can plow a trench 6 feet deep with their eyes closed, not even stopping. There's 3 or 4 of them in a row. The first dozer goes by, loosens it up. Second dozer digs very deep with the cable. And the third dozer carries a spool of cable, and the one behind it flattens it out. They went by us. They did approximately 15 to 30 miles per day. It never has been completed. They do just the backbone, Bill and George, but I am concerned because I've researched this, and I think it's possible the Lahaina or Hawaii wildfires were started with a directed EMF wave, and I think also in Pacific Palisades and Los Angeles, because EMF waves, when they hit a solar and parabolic mirror, they can actually be directed and channeled into a high energy beam like out at Ivanpah that is constantly down because of the birds that it flies and the pollinators. But I want to know, we have 700,000 miles of transmission lines. What about the copper and the fittings on the nuclear sites? There could be a backlog of power, a back pulse power surge into a nuclear reactor. We have, I think, 230 plus reactors in America. It's going to fry every computer. I mean, can they make a weapon out of this? And another thing, the only figures I can get on the cost of overhead transmission versus underground burial is from a company that puts the transmission lines in. So they say it's more expensive to bury it, but I disagree with the new high-speed Caterpillar bulldozer that America makes. They are just unbelievable. But anyway, I talked enough. Thank you, gentlemen. I'll take your answer off the phone about this weaponization of the EMF wave. Thank you.
Well, it is weaponized the minute they launch it, isn't it, Bill?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. And the gentleman points out yet another thing to worry about, and that's our nuclear power capability. If those things are EMP hits, shorts them offline, well, they have the emergency backup of oil-fired generators to keep the pile, the nuclear pile cool. So suppose it gets to the point where their fuel runs out and things get hot. So that's a possibility as well. Nuke plant going offline and then shorting out and then catastrophe.
Let's go west of the Rockies. Roberta's with us now in Garden Valley, California. Hello, Roberta.
Hi, George. Hi, William.
Hi.
Living in this Sierra Nevadas, I've often been without power just due to weather.
Mm-hmm.
So I have done my best to be away from the grid as much as I can. So my comment is the people who can protect our borders are not protecting our basic needs for power that involves our lives day to day.
Why aren't they doing it, Bill? It's so obvious.
Well, a friend of mine sent me an article earlier today that there could be as many as 10 to 20,000 trained terrorists in the country, meaning we had a wide open border, thank you very much, Mr. Biden. And how many of them are Iranian backed? We've already had an incident today.
Sleeper
In Texas. And remember the fentanyl incident several years back? High-powered rifle, you shoot 4 or 5 transformers, you blow the grid out. I am very worried about what's going to happen over the next 4 or 5 days. I wrote a book several years back called The Iraq. One scenario that really scares the hell out of me is 2 or 3 terrorists seizing a school. They are going to strike back this week.
Especially when they're suicidal. They don't care.
And they're suicidal. So I just pray that our people are on top of it, because it's a scary scenario. I think it will happen this week, that we will see terrorist actions inside the United States.
So we're going to take more calls when we come back in a moment, but where do people get your books?
Well, as they used to say, it's sold in better bookstores everywhere. So Amazon, of course, or your friendly neighborhood bookstore.
I met Jeff Bezos about a year ago. He walked right past me, and he said, if I don't shake your hand, I think I'll regret it. He came back. Didn't know me from Adam. Had about 3 bodyguards all around him with his girlfriend at the time we married. And sat at my table for 2 minutes. And the guy's a genius.
Oh, yeah. My story like that was, as a brand new author, I was introduced to Ray Bradbury. And I wound up with a 20-minute conversation about my career, and a most gentle, wonderful man. It was quite an experience, and encouraging me to keep on writing no matter what.
I have a letter from Ray Bradbury on my bulletin board in my office. I had complimented him on his Twilight Zone episode called I Sing the Body Electric.
Oh my gosh, I was just on it about 4 or 5 days ago. I cry every time I see that.
He was amazing, wasn't he?
He was truly a godsend. That and the Twilight Zone episode, After Bye, was set at the end of the Civil War. Wonderful Ray Bradbury, Rock Serling. God bless that man.
If you could be just half as successful as he, Bill, you'd be a giant. You know that?
1/10. I mean, And we build our careers on the shoulders of people like that.
That's the way it is. We're going to come back in a moment with Bill Forstchen and take final calls. Here's our next origin artist, Tommy Shearer from Clearwater, Florida. The name of Tommy's song is called The Puppeteer, and we highlight them on the first Sunday of every month, and they're great artists.
Don't forget to watch our TV show, Beyond Belief, with George Norrie. Simply go to beyondbelief.com.
Not too much, I'm afraid. Just when you trust, you're easy, ready. When you trust, you're easy, ready. Why does the difference lie so much? Well, it's something we can't touch.
Before the headlines, before the noise, there were stories worth telling. Our American stories. The triumphs, failures, and turning points that shaped this country. Weekday mornings from 5 till 6, and Sunday evenings from 5 till 7. 710 WOR.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. As I warned you, the IRS is unleashed with unprecedented power. Now, if you got an IRS letter or if you sense trouble brewing, well, act now. The IRS means business, and that means bank accounts raided, paychecks garnished, passports seized. They are crushing you with penalties and interest. Maybe you're a business owner and you're behind on your payroll taxes. Now they can come after you personally and they can even shut you down. Now for years you've heard me talking about my friends at Rush Tax and how it's the only company that I recommend. Call them now, 800-258-7050. So many of my listeners have already called and Rush Tax negotiated the absolute best resolution possible with both the IRS and the state. Mention my name and Rush Tax will do a brief IRS transcript investigation. Get $1,500 value absolutely free. Rush Tax will only take your case if they know they can help you, period. Call the only company I trust, 855-IRS-CALL, 855-IRS-CALL, RushTaxResolution.com.
And my later, my dad passed away at the age of 63, out of nowhere. Stroke, super hard, obviously, a little family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my son, my wife, and 4 kids. The best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
A new season starts now. Discover modern spring style at Van Heusen with fresh arrivals that work as hard as you do. From lightweight performance shirts that keep you cool and comfortable to stain shield styles that help you stay sharp all day long. These are the essentials built for wherever your day throws at you. Polished enough for the office, relaxed enough for the weekend. Refresh your wardrobe with the latest spring styles at VanHeusen.com. Van Heusen, style that works. And I know you're going to want some after hearing this. This is an amazing story. We've got Stephen and Malachi Gregory in Nelson, New Zealand. Now, I understand that Malachi, who is 8, almost 9 years old now, was suffering with not just 1 or 2 warts, but I mean a significant outbreak of warts all over his body. So significant it impacted his ability to really function.
Yeah, he was having trouble even holding his pencil to write at the type book, actually, that got me thinking.
I'm not surprised. It is an amazing immunomodulator, and so I can see that it would work. And so at what point did you see that there was actually improvement really going to work?
Well, look, we really started to notice it around 12 weeks. You can see these things actually getting smaller and smaller and then going down to just little red marks. The whole thing's gone. We're talking about one the size of water. I thought, no way that's going to, that's just being miraculous. To see him get into a pair of shoes.
Yeah. How wonderful.
It's great to see him so happy and confident.
Absolutely wonderful.
Our friends that have seen it, they're blown away.
This is awesome. Yeah, this is awesome.
Another amazing story. Why? We're talking about Carnivora. Call them to awaken your immune system and protect yourself now. Call 1-866-836-8735. That's 1-866-836-8735 or visit carnivora.com. Carnivora. Carnivora.com. The Earth Day 2026 Festival is back on Sunday, April 19th in Union Square with green living experts, climate campaigns, kids activities, and sustainable foods. Green your lifestyle and show up for environmental action this spring. RSVP for free at earthdayinitiative.org.
So next emerging artist, Mark Island from Lake Forest, California. The name of the song, Timeless.
What I feel when Gabriel goes is on, that always was and is reborn. I think of myself, what a wonderful world. To be here with you, such a wonderful girl, it feels timeless. Seen the moon rise a million times. Long and sing the sea is shining. When I'm swinging under it with you, I get lost in the sail with you and timeless. So good to be with you. Like walk the table for me. When you walk by, I only have eyes for you. There is freedom, yes, to take away from the world. Without a trace, God and I find the space when
To talk to George Norrie, call the Wildcard line at 818-501-4109. The first-time caller line is 818-501-4721. To talk toll-free from east of the Rockies, call 800-825-5033. From west of the Rockies, toll-free, call 800-618-8255. Send George a text message anytime at 818-298-6521. This is Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie.
And we'll be back in a moment with final calls with William Fortune as we talk about EMPs, solar flares, protecting our power grid. Next hour, James Fox, the ufologist, joins us to talk about his latest documentary called Moment of Contact, about a 1996 event in Brazil. It's an incredible story. We'll be talking with him about that and disclosure on Coast to Coast. Have you signed up yet to become a Coast Insider? Now, that's a great deal at 15 cents a day.
This is Lisa. I'm a Coast Insider because I can't always stay up to listen to Coast Live. The insiders I listen to it first thing in the morning, and sometimes even when I'm at work. Hey, it's Mike from North Carolina, and I'm a Coast Insider. And if you like me, you get a little side each time the live show ends at night, but that's okay because I can listen to the show anytime, anywhere, right on my phone.
I'm Dawn from Glenview Beach, Oregon. I'm an insider. Living in a rural area, it gives me access to listen to any show.
Any show, anytime, couple ways to sign up. Just go to our website, coasttocoastam.com. Right at the top of the homepage, it says Insider. You click that button, fill out the info, and you got it. The other way is to go to your app store, look for the Coast to Coast AM app. It's free. Put it on your phone, and through the app you can sign up. And if you're in Canada, you're eligible to sign up as well. So take advantage. Always something for you men and women to build up your testosterone.
Recent research is showing low testosterone is affecting a larger portion of men and women at all ages. Addressing hormone balance, including healthy testosterone, is crucial for maintaining overall health. Introducing George's Super Tea. Not a drink, but a 100% natural capsule. Faster absorbing for amazing results. Here's Dr. Alan Millett, product creator.
Naturally, as we know, the body produces testosterone on its own. George's Super Tea is a powerhouse of hormone balance and testosterone enhancement, designed to work with the body's natural testosterone for both males and females.
Sounds great. What changes are people seeing?
We're talking beautiful hair, glowing skin, energizes the mind, better mental clarity, better concentration, less stress, enhances your sugar metabolism. It goes on, boosting desire in both men and women. We're talking about natural, sustained energy in all aspects of your life, all with our EDS enzyme, our secret sauce to maximize nutrient absorption, helping the body get the most from every dose.
And Dr. Malay, it's all natural, correct?
100% natural product that optimizes the testosterone that you already have and gives your body the ability to produce as much as you need. Feeling differences in 1 hour of up to 700% increased testosterone. For anybody who wants to just feel better, feel younger, this is for you.
George's Super Tea Capsules for men and women from HealthyLooking.com or at 800-549-9596. Super Tea Capsules at HealthyLooking.com or at 800-549-9596. Check out the full interview with Dr. Malay at HealthyLooking.com and don't forget promo code George for free shipping. Are you a fraud-paying American? It's a fact that 1 in 4 honest, hard-working, tax-paying Americans has been a victim of identity theft. With LifeLock Identity Theft Protection Now, if your identity is stolen, they fix it, guaranteed, and get your money back. Last year, the IRS flagged over $16 billion in refunds for identity fraud. That's billions of dollars that could come from your salary, overtime, or second job. But this time, you don't need to stay a victim. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats you can easily miss on your own. If your information does fall into the wrong hands, only LifeLock has U.S.-based restoration specialists who are backed by the $1 million protection package. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. That's 40% off with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
What goes better with a meal? Bacon. At Heartland Steakco, they take their bacon seriously. From their double smoked hickory to their honey jalapeno, which brings sweet and spicy together for the perfect combination, to their all new bacon flavors like whiskey peppercorn with its smoky richness, to their applewood double smoked bacon that's smoked over real applewood chips, to their all new maple bourbon bacon, which brings out the subtle notes of maple and bourbon for a rich taste. Heartland Steakco has your bacon and USDA Midwestern beef ready to ship and delivered straight to your door. Don't wait. Order today for yourself, a friend, or anyone who loves that true Midwest taste. Ordering is easy at HeartlandSteakCo.com. And right now, when you spend $199.99 or more, you'll get free shipping plus 2 pounds of bacon with promo code BACON. Go and get your bacon from HeartlandSteakCo.com. That's HeartlandSteakCo.com. Promo code BACON. Taste the Heartland difference.
No descriptions given at this time. All units arrive alive.
And welcome back. William Fortune with us. For 1 second after, that'll be turned into a movie that will hit the big screen soon enough. We'll tell you when that's going to happen. That's exciting. You excited about it, Bill?
Yes, of course I'm excited. You only wait 30 years for something like that.
What about the other books? Might they be turned into something too?
You're with here. Yeah, there is talk that if this movie goes well, then we'll have 1 Second Anchor Part 2, 3. Because a lot of times, if we do the theatrical release and it does well, it then turns it into like a Netflix series. Yes.
Let's go to the phone. Let's go to Joe in Austin, Texas, on the wildcard line. And Joe's condolences to what happened in Austin, Texas today.
Yeah. Yeah. That was sad.
How's the mood in that city today?
I think everybody's hiding out, including me. Anyway, George, I'm sorry about all that happened, but I don't know. I think we got some more coming. But, I was thinking about this grid thing. See, I'm about your age, and when I was in Phoenix, I worked at Palo Verde Nuclear Plant on the border of California and Arizona. And I worked there 3.5 years until they ran me off because I got too pregnant. And but those domes out there are 2.5 feet concrete with 2 inches of steel running around it. I mean, they're built really cool. for protection. I was wondering if we could protect some possibilities for that.
There are some underground facilities that will be empty. Bill?
Yeah, let me answer that question. I don't know if those
Before you give me a
interesting question.
But if you're underground, the solar flares aren't going to get much.
You have to be far enough underground and plug around it to make sure wiring on the surface that feeds down to the wiring below the surface that can be shorted out anyhow. What about happened in the Russian situation?
What about EMPs? Same thing?
Same thing. Same damn thing. Russian Soviet Test 184. Underground wires fed the pulse into a power generating system 500 miles away from the point of detonation and shorted it down.
Mr. Milwaukee, Stan is with us in Angels Camp, California. Hello, Stan. Go ahead.
Hello, Bill George. I thank you for taking my call. I'm going to try and lay out an observation and hopefully one or two questions to you.
Okay, so far,
If you look all across the United States, you'll see you've got a neighbor who's got solar panels on their roof. Another neighbor. Tens of thousands of dollars spent on these homes. Doing this. Of those panels got power. But we've got these things, and then there's some people out in the boondocks too that are off grid. But we've got most of these things are hooked into the grid. Are you of any tactical source that how you might protect this giant investment that might help when the grid goes out? You have some solar panels. You might have some batteries. But if the grid goes and burns out the solar panels and or the electronics that control them, you've got junk. Are you aware of any way to protect them or technical information could be got, owners on how they could provide some protection to their systems? Gentlemen raises a great point. Okay, you have your home unit, solar panels, battery. If you don't have good circuit breaking systems in there and it's not wired into the grid to instantly turn on the power grid side, well, it also means that if an EMP hits, it could short your system out as well. I have seen where some solar panel manufacturers are advertising that their EMP tools. I don't know enough to be able to speak authoritatively on that.
Bill, with the situation that's happening worldwide, could this speed up the protection of the power grid?
Absolutely, yes. Particularly as we talked about your last break. Somebody with a nice power rifle to blow out a major substation with the stabbers at the rifle shop and transformers. We need in so many ways. Tactically defending a major infrastructure point from terrorist attacks all the way up to EMP. We have to buy the insurance policies. We are running without insurance policies on our grid, and it could hurt us in a bad way. And I am concerned about the next week or two that's going to happen.
Next up, we're going to Windsor, Connecticut, not Canada. Brian. Brian, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for taking the call, George. Thanks for talking, Bill. My question is, have you ever heard of like a military or DARPA application using, say, scalar energy weapons with laser tracking systems from either Earth-based or space-based using satellites, using high-speed lasers to track, say, solar waves or potential inbounds that can create an EMP that could make a widespread, like kinetic energy burst back to shield or disperse a potential EMP wave, almost like an iron dome curve effect. using scalar energy weapons, or say something, even though it's not supposed to exist, like zero-point energy warp bubbles that could maybe disperse something of that nature or that energy field. Not so much at the local level, but like the transformer level in some local towns, but as a wide scale protection bridge.
Ready to open up Golden Dome.
All out activity, Golden
Kinetic energy, so energy using energy weapons as well. We're looking at advanced 21st century technology being applied to the nuclear center. Again, Golden Dome is about providing a
Charlie northbound, Hutchinson Parkway to 1C to Charlie northbound, Hutchinson Parkway to Palmer Parkway to cross. Looking for a black BMW X6 Spanish license plate 648. That's black BMW X6 Spanish license plate. Michael B is a boy, F is in Frank, 6408. Needs to be on the 95 north passing exit 15 at this time.
Taken out practically everywhere. So I was curious as to what that might be about. But we can use second wheels to, up the ante a little bit. People need to make money, of course. And you're talking about oil politics. I'm really happy that Trump is an embassy for these guys, because I've been to Iran twice. I was there. They took the hostages. And before and after the show, I've been for conditions. It's a pretty advanced country in one sense of the word. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there. Hope for everybody.
We've offered the amnesty to the Republic, the Guards, Revolutionary Guards. I don't think that those are hard lines.
No, so want to line up and meet their girlfriends in the future, fine with me. We'll send them there.
Steve is with us in Crescent Valley, California. Steven, your turn. Go ahead.
Good evening. I have a quick question for Mr. Forster.
Steve?
In a world of geopolitical tensions, military conflicts, viral diseases, and the constant threat of EMPs and nuclear war, it can be difficult to turn a blind eye to such widespread chaos and unprecedented turmoil. While one can definitely argue that safeguarding from major events such as a nuclear attack is imperative, how can the average American citizen psychologically balance going about their current daily lives with preparing for what could potentially be a large-scale disaster situation?
How would we do that?
That is a great question. People ask, what are you doing when you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you write these books and you're thinking about this? And yeah, it's a conversation. I have to have faith in God. I have to have faith that, as I said in the phrase, this is one of my goals. All I want is someday people will look at my material and they'll go, what a prank, it never happened. That'd be great. I want my daughter and my grandchildren to grow up and say, boy, we have to live day by day with faith, believe that America's going to go through. It's a great thing. So I'm in the United States of America. Let's go back to
First time caller Gary is with us now, Sacramento, California. Hi, Gary.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. I'll be quick. If the EMP pulse goes, the communication system drops offline across the world tomorrow or next year, what does a commander of a nuclear-armed surface ship or submarine, what keeps them from just saying, well, we must be under attack, it's time to launch? And then thereby launching not because it's launch worthy, but just because something happened.
Let me tell you one thing I learned from being in the Navy for 9 years. Bill, you'll probably back this up.
Yeah.
The submarines that have our nukes have been instructed that if they lose communication, for whatever reason, they have the right to launch at any they want against any enemy. They have been programmed that if communications go down, launch. Mistakes could happen, but that's what they've been told. Have you heard that?
Central, thank you.
I've heard from actually the guy who did the technical answer, Bill Sanders, the 1 second answer. Or my technical answer word in my book. He worked on looking well. He said, property is there. Now, technically, it's supposed to be part of the United States. It's supposed to be the United States and most of the traffic is gone. Look at the, maybe you're aware, George, of the incident with the Soviet submarine during the Cuban Missile Crisis, where it came in close to launching an attack when they couldn't communicate with their superiors.
That's right.
This is dangerous stuff. And as Jack Kennedy once pointed out, it's not nuclear war calculation that needs to be used. Nuclear war is miscalculation or madness.
Misinterpretation. Exactly.
Yes.
Go to Barbara in Illinois. Really quick, Barb. Go ahead.
Okay, I heard a bunch of naysayers back in the 80s that thought New Orleans was never going to be a problem, and we all know what happened there. It's the same people, the exact same people that are saying the grid is never going down, and I have a question. What's going to happen to cryptocurrency?
I never thought of that.
Goodbye, crypto.
I really don't know, except I don't put cryptocurrency. So that's my answer.
But computers go down, digital goes down, life goes down, cell phones go down, everything goes down.
Yeah, like that poor guy who lost his computer and he's like this whole dump that he's going through to try and find his crypto again.
Crazy time. Real force movie 1 second after comes out when?
Sometime summer, early fall.
Well, if we can get every coast-to-coast listener to go see your movie, it'll be a hell of a success, won't it?
George, you have tremendous reach, and God bless you for everything you do regarding video.
How close does the book 1 second after echo the movie?
Basically there. You know, they take certain but then again, I've only seen a very rough version that came out 2 days ago. So yes, generally it's all pretty good.
Did you write some of the movie script too?
If you know how much authority the executive producer has?
Yeah.
I can make suggestions. Actually, they did listen to quite a few suggestions that I did.
But they all read your book, you took it apart, right?
You know, when I showed up on the set, the moment I got introduced, the only thing missing was carrying me into the band. Everybody loved it. I did a lot of signings on the days I was at.
Good for you. Keep in touch with us. Bill Forstchen, his book is called 1 Second After. Soon to be out, there's a movie 1 second after, my friend. And here's our final emerging artist for the month, Jerry Payne from Scotts Valley, California. The name of the song, Shannon. And we highlight these incredible musicians on the first Sunday of every month.
Get daily show updates right to your inbox for free with the Coast Zone newsletter. Sign up today at coasttocoastam.com.
If you're over 40 and plan to retire someday, the window to protect what you built may be smaller than you realize. As retirement moves from someday to on the horizon, protecting what you built becomes just as important as growing it.
And that's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. They help investors reduce risk by adding gold and silver to their portfolio. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult with your tax or financial professional before making a decision. DC Pocket Radio is one of the most popular pocket radios on the market today, and it makes a great gift. It has unbeatable AM/FM reception with crisp, clear audio for its small size. You can listen to it using the included earbuds tuned in for voice clarity, or with the built-in speaker. It's simple to operate. It has 5 memory buttons to instantly tune to your favorite station. It also makes a great emergency radio because it has a lighted dial and NOAA weather band with alerts. It's very lightweight and durable. It's very easy to hold with rubber sides and a pocket clip. To order the CC Pocket Radio and receive priority mail shipping, call C-Crane at 800-522-8863. That number again, 800-522-8863. Or visit them online at ccrane.com.
WLR,
New York.
radio station.
This is Jim. Hello. Jim started advertising with iHeartRadio way back in April. And now, I have customers out the door. And this is Sarah.
Hi.
She started putting a portion of her marketing dollars in podcasting back in June.
This is booming. That's why I'm working on a Saturday.
Want to be like Jim and Sarah? It's easy. All you have to do is own or manage a business and reach out to iHeart. Get started today at 844-844-iHeart or iHeartAdvertising.com. From the heart of New York City, the conversation starts here. 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
An iHeart radio station.
Good morning, I'm Jonathan O'Hara, and here's what's happening. As one nation, we agree for the two American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. President Trump addressing the nation on social media after the announcement was made that 3 U.S. service members have been killed and 5 others were seriously wounded while carrying out the joint offensive with Israel against Iran, known as Epic Fury. The president also conceding that it's likely there will be more American casualties during the ongoing operation. ABC News learning more about President Trump's decision-making process ahead of those military strikes against Iran.
Now that Iran's supreme leader is dead, the big questions remain. Who will take control next? And how involved is the U.S. going to be? Because Trump has made it very clear this is not over. He said the heavy and pinpoint bombing will continue uninterrupted throughout the week or as long as necessary. And remember, this is a president who has repeatedly promised not to launch another war in the Middle East, but with these strikes, he's essentially done exactly that.
U.S. sanctions have been long making life miserable for Iranian citizens. ABC News Chief Global Affairs anchor Murta Radis says it's a critical time for those who want a new Iranian government.
92 million people in that country, and a great number of them are hardliners. The opposition has been so incredibly brave, but we all know tens of thousands have been killed over the years. So this is a critical time for them. Meanwhile, their country is being bombed. So this will play out in the coming weeks and the strength of those people, what they're able to accomplish, and whether the IRGC drops their weapons. It's a huge question.
Meantime, some members of Congress from both sides of the aisle are unhappy with the Trump administration's military strike.
It was a brutal dictator, but Americans are not favored. Congressman O'Connor, California, Silicon Valley, NBC's Lead the Press Sunday morning. He says the strikes have led to several questions with possibly dangerous answers. Is the country going to descend in civil war? Are billions of our dollars going to be spent there? Or are American troops going to be at risk? Republican Thomas Massie from Kentucky said Congress should have waited before the strike. There was a House resolution that aims to check the Trump administration, and they want it voted on ASAP. I'm Jason.
Lawmakers are set to be briefed Tuesday on the circumstances of that attack. The full Senate will brief Tuesday afternoon, followed by the House immediately after. Locally, the NYPD is continuing to step up patrols at sensitive sites throughout New York City following that joint attack.
you'll see more police outside the United Nations, consulates, synagogues, other Jewish institutions, and cultural locations. Homeland Security officials say there's currently no threat, but security experts are warning that could change. Terrorist cells could be activated, or lone wolves could act on their own. New Yorkers are being urged to stay vigilant at transit hubs, Wall Street Museum, and the New York Public Library. If you see anyone acting suspiciously or spot an unattended bag, police want to hear from you. Sarah Lee Kessler, WOR News.
In other news now, police in Patterson, New Jersey have made an arrest in Friday's fatal hammer attack on a homeless person. 32-year-old Jamie Lopez was taken into custody Saturday and charged with murder and weapons possession. Stage 11 reports cops responding to a report of an unresponsive person on Marshall Street Friday found the victim inside a makeshift tent suffering from blunt force injuries to the back of the head. The victim's identity has not been released, no word on a motive. Larry Thompson, WOR News. Sports and your Weather Channel forecast on next.
Real soon. So I had an appointment with the surgeon, and he was told me what all he was going to do, and it was just absolutely horrendous. I came home, I started on Carnivora, and I called and canceled my surgery, and she said, "Are you going someplace else?" I said, "No, I'm taking care of it myself." She said, "Okay," and my problem on my skin went away.
I have bruising that's all over my arms, 3 weeks after I was on the Carnivora, I noticed, I was looking at my arms, and I said, gee, I don't have any bruises on my arms, and I'm always full of bruises. I can't put my finger on it, but I know something's happening. I have to tell you, that has to be a Carnivora.
Call 866-836-8735. That's 866-836-8735. Or visit carnivora.com. That's CARNIVORA.com. Coupon code George to get 15% off your order.
Yeah, in sports, the Knicks took down the Spurs 114-89. Mikal Bridges with 25 points in the win. The Nets lost to Cleveland 106-102. Michael Porter Jr. with 26 for Brooklyn in the loss. And the Islanders beat the Panthers 5-4. Andrews Lee with the game-winning goal in the final minute.
Here's your WOR Weather Channel forecast. Once we transition from wintry to wet weather on Tuesday, that wet weather stays with us at least through Friday. Decent opportunities, it looks like, by Thursday or so. The showers get a little more scattered, but it's going to be wet and it will be warmer. Mostly clear, will drop back mid-teens to around 20, closer to 12, lower Hudson Valley. Monday, mostly sunny, upper 20s to low 30s. Monday night, partly cloudy, fewer clouds, New Jersey, lower Hudson Valley. And then that early winter weather Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Jack Enoch.
Wake up with Minty in the morning, 6 till 10 in the morning. Jonathan O'Hara and 7 to 10. WOR.
Premier Networks presents Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie.
Well, President Trump has his hands tied right now with the Iran situation, but he has said that he was going to try to get full disclosure on UFOs and extraterrestrials. We shall see what happens. In a moment, a person who's been working at this for years, James Fox, joins us. His latest work is called Moment of Contact. We'll talk about that in disclosure. We'll come right back to Coast AM. This is an amazing story. We've got Stephen and Malachi Gregory in Nelson, New Zealand. Now, I understand that Malachi, who's almost 9 years old now, was suffering with not just one or two warts, but I mean a significant outbreak of warts all over his body. So significant it impacted his ability to really function.
Yeah, he was having trouble even holding a pencil to write at the type book, actually, that got me thinking about it.
I'm not surprised. It is an amazing immunomodulator, and so I can see that it would work. And so at what point did you see that there was actually improvement and really going to work?
Well, look, we really noticed it around 12 weeks. You can see these things actually getting smaller and smaller and then going down to with just little red marks. The whole things are gone. And we're talking about one the size of water. I thought, no way that's going to, that's just been miraculous. To see him get into a pair of shoes, how wonderful. It's great to see him so happy and wonderful. That thing could have been it. That's gone away.
Another amazing story. Why? We're talking about Carnivora. Call them to open your immune system and protect yourself now. Call 1-866-836-8735. That's 1-866-836-8735. Or visit carnivora.com. C-A-R-N-I-V-O-R-A. Carnivora.com.
And I'm excited. My dad passed away at the age of 63. I know that stroke. Obviously, family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife, and 4 kids. The best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes. Family. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S. Ethos.com/Mike.
Somebody's doing a 35 motion at Hunts Point, number 69.
And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you, James Fox back with us. He's a filmmaker born in England, raised in New York and California. His path into journalism began very early in life, traveling with his father, writer Charles Fox, who lived with quadriplegia caused by multiple sclerosis. Assignments with Rolling Stone, Foreign Driver, and Sports Illustrated, the two figures such as Stephen Hawking and racing legend Dan Gurney. By the age of 28, James Fox had completed and sold his first documentary on the UFO subject in communications. He's one of the best investigators out there today. James, my friend, how you doing?
Are you sure I'm worthy of that introduction?
You sure are, my friend. You're one of the best.
Well, I appreciate that. Very nice to hear your voice.
You did one in 22, and you've redone it again now.
It's Moment of Contact, New Revelations of Alien Encounters, and what I did was, just when the first version came out, we had to add all those professional allegations of threat removal and program. So I kind of incorporated that up front, documented a few crash retrievals over the decades, and then went into what I consider to be the best, most compelling crash retrieval case involving the United States and back in Brazil. There's been a bunch of new first-hand eyewitness reports coming forward, so that's why I did the movie.
I'm looking forward to it. We're going to talk about disclosure for everybody, but in your first movie of Moment of Contact, you show some different videos, and on the new one, you've got our George Knapp in some of those pictures, don't you?
Yeah, George Knapp testified. There were 4 congressional hearings in 2022 that Congressman Andre Carson spearheaded. I didn't have any witnesses, but it was still monumental. And then we had, obviously, 2023 with David Rush. And that was a real eye-opener. And then 2024, George Knapp testified. I mean, it's been, people are frustrated because they feel like things aren't happening quick enough. But, I mean, prior to that, it was over 50 years since we'd had a congressional hearing. So I'm quite excited the direction of things are moving.
What do you think of both presidents' announcements? First President Barack Obama, former president, that said that he believes aliens are real. I didn't see anything. It doesn't say that area. What do you think of his statement?
Well, jaw dropping things somewhat discreetly over the last several years. I was told that he would be briefed after he left office, more so than when he was during his presidency. It's funny actually because one of the people that was highly influential to get him to run for president was Senator Harry Reid. And so Senator Harry Reid, along with Inouye and Stevens, launched the super secret Pentagon UFO program. I guess it lost after that ultimately named him. That was during the tail end of the Bush presidency and right all the way through Obama's presidency. So that would surprise me if Senator Reid never bent his ear and filled them in on what they're up to, because according to a lot of people that were involved with the program, they came really close to even getting some real alien tech hardware. I guess they need like one more signature. So, but I did hear pretty solid testimony that President Obama was briefed on the topic after he left office, and he made a few, like compelling statements. And then when that happened, I was like, ooh, this is getting interesting. And then, of course, when you had Trump, saying, hey, he shouldn't have said that. That was classified. I thought, well, this is really getting interesting. And then, of course, what is it? Hours later, that his Truth Social statement came out, and I couldn't believe my eyes. At that point, I couldn't think. So we are living in unprecedented times, and regardless how you feel about President Trump, he's probably the guy that would do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a little disappointed in his State of the Union address that he didn't mention this, but I guess he's got more pressing things, right?
I was hearing rumors from people that he might get two different versions. I thought that he would allude to it because, let's just face it, that this is for primarily media out there. No question about it, right? And there are people in his administration that know damn well that there's happening, particularly Marco Rubio, because I'm friends with someone who camped with Marco Rubio on more than one occasion with first-hand people. And that was like the set of the lab with the alien tech. And I remember asking him very somber, very serious. The atmosphere in the room was intense. And basically, my gosh, this person's credentials are impeccable. Why on earth would this individual be lying to us, still high-level clearances? And this individual said that Marco Rubio and a handful of others were taking these allegations so seriously to the point where, all right, how are we going to deal with it?
And Rubio is highlighted in your documentary quite a bit, is he not?
He is, yeah. I basically took the last 3 to 4 years of very, very quickly, because I didn't want to get bogged down into that whole, all the congressional hearings, but I did read press. I don't know if you had a chance to watch the latest version of Moment of Contact.
I watched the whole thing today.
Oh, cool. Awesome. So